everybody, I'm Heidelin with Austin Entertainment Management here with Mike Swearwords. How are you doing today, Mike?
Good. How you doing? How you going, guys?
Okay, I'm really going to put you on the spot right now.
Let's hear it.
Why don't you tell everybody about our event that we have coming up on Monday? It's called Who Are Your Super Fans? And I'm going to let you take that away because I left my notes like way over there and I'm like completely lost without my notes. So take it away and tell them about Monday.
All right. So, super fans is pretty much going to be a discussion about um, what are we, who are your super fans? Who are the people that listen to your music? Who is the audience that you're going after? Basically knowing your audience, right? Am I in the right area with that?
Yes, you are. And what's cool is today's episode is going to kind of get you like prepped and ready to hear what Sarah Pace, who is our guest speaker for that episode, is going to be teaching us about being able to connect with those people. So once you hear what we're talking about today, that'll be the first thing that you'll be like, oh yeah, my mind's kind of blown up on that, and you'll get a couple days to digest. And then Monday at 7:30, you can join us for the meeting. What's cool about these meetings, it's on Zoom, so it's way more interactive than what we do on these weekly streams. Here we're kind of talking at you. Although if you are watching right now, you can type in the comments and we should be able to see that so we can answer your question as we go along. But in the Zoom meeting, we can actually see you and we can see how you're reacting. And if you have questions, you can unmute yourself and talk to us. So it's a lot more interactive. So we invite you to join us. You can go to halisthebomb.com and right on our homepage, you'll see a little flyer for it and there'll be a button for you to register for that Zoom meeting so you can get the link. And that's Eastern time, by the way, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. Okay, so like I said, our episode's going to kind of lead into that today. Before we get into the meat of everything, Mike, I want to get your feedback on Joanna's performance on Sunday.
Oh yeah.
She did her one-woman show for the first time. And Mike, what did you think of it?
So I honestly believe like I had pretty high expectations because like I said, we know Joanna and we know like her energy and what she brings to the table. But she definitely blew that out of the water because the way that it was constructed, the way that she told her story was absolutely amazing. Her songs were all originals. She had the piano, the drums, bass, and stuff like that, and she just put on an amazing show. Her voice was incredible. It was like seeing a live show like right in front of you. But just what really compelled me was the message itself about how like it shows notes of like not giving up on yourself, and you're never too old and it's never too late and all that stuff. So that whole journey that she carried you through, I look forward to rewatching it because it was really incredible. And not only did she get to narrate it, like the band narrated a little bit of it too. It had this like really down to earth jazzy feel to it, but it was incredible. She told an incredible story. I think it was extremely successful. I think it was great. I think she had a good turnout for it, and hopefully there's going to be even more coming because it was a really great show.
I also hope so. I didn't get to see it live, obviously, and I wasn't even available Sunday night, but I bought the replay ticket, and I think that thing should be releasing today,
Soon,
maybe.
hopefully. I'm hoping soon because I checked for it. I didn't see it yet, but
So yeah, I'm super excited. And Joanna, we're so proud of you. It's so cool to see your vision come together. You know, you've been talking about all of the pieces and elements of this and how you're going to put it together. And there were some struggles that you went through, but you got through all of that and you did what you said you were going to do. And that is just amazing and inspiring. And we're so grateful to be working with you.
yeah, it was awesome because like it how difficult it was for her to put this together and find all the things that she needed within her time frame. It just like really helped to portray the even the story that she was telling on stage, you know, like about resiliency and not giving up and pushing through it. And like she had a vision, she saw it through, and she nailed it. So like super proud of you, Joanna. Amazing.
Yes, yes. And usually she's at the meetings on Monday. So come meet Joanna. Come see who we're talking about. Come experience her awesome energy.
Yes.
So okay. So I think that's pretty much it for this week. We really wanted to focus on that. We always have other events that are going on, digital networking events. You can go to howisthebomb.com/events to see what's going on and join those online meetings and take advantage of that. So let's get to the content. Who are you creating for? So, Mike, what's one of the number one reasons that we do music?
One of the main reasons is for fun, to enjoy ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
borderline express ourselves. Yeah.
So I agree with that. Like really the number one reason that I'm doing music is because it's fun. Like if I'm in a bad mood and I start doing music stuff, well, suddenly I'm having fun and I'm not in a bad mood as much. So, you know, I think one of the biggest fears that musicians have when they start moving from the hobby phase to um, making revenue with their music creations is that it's going to feel like a job. It's going to stop being fun. So, this right here, the first thing that I'm going to tell you is maybe one of the most important things to think about. The music that you're making should be first for you. And when you're deciding what kind of music you're going to create, this pulls from all of your musical influences. So, who are your favorite groups to listen to? What elements of their music really light that fire inside of you? For example, I can appreciate jazz music. It's cool. It seems very difficult. The people that play it seem amazing and talented, but it just doesn't really do it for me. But you put on like some hard rock or doom metal, and like suddenly I'm like, yeah, like this is good. Like there's this fire, there's this energy, there's this. Oh yes. Do you relate, Mike?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I feel that same way because like for example, like I can appreciate country music, right? Because I know it takes talent and they have their vision and their lifestyle and their niche in their music. It's just like that doesn't get me going because I don't relate to country, you know. I'm not out in the country and doing all that stuff, so it's different for me. But like when I hear like indie pop punk, like instantly just clicks in my brain. Like I'm ready to get moving. Like I want to jump up and down. I want to, I get that energy flowing. But it doesn't happen for everything. Definitely not.
Right. So pay attention to what elements of music is it that you really like. Is it like a melodic bass line? When you hear that, you're always like, yeah, listen to that bass line, or is it a certain effect that's on the guitars? Is it a certain instrument that's used when a song is written? What elements light that fire up inside of you? And you can start with the bands that you already know and like, and start looking at what genres they identify themselves as.
Yeah.
This is going to be important in a minute, but I'm going to talk about oh, first, before I move on to the next point, why is this important? Number one, you're going to continue to have fun, because if the music that you're writing continues to like ignite that fire inside of yourself, you're never going to stop having fun.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So number two, your message is going to be a lot more genuine when you're not forcing it. When it's flowing out of you because this is something that you enjoy, people are going to feel that energy and they're going to be attracted to it. It's going to be a lot easier. Okay, so that's point number one, make music for your own happiness. Number two, so who are the other people that this music creation is for? Number one, it's going to be people that enjoy the same sounds and elements of music that you do. Oh, you've got something in common. Like, all right, this is already like easier, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
The other thing is they enjoy the same stories that you do. So every song is a story. So what kind of stories are you listening to? I recently interviewed Queen of Dreams, which, by the way, Austin Entertainment is the sponsor for Pharmapalooza, which is in June, the 9th through the 11th in Kaukauna. And so this is an interview you're going to be able to watch coming up, which, speaking of which, this Friday at 5 p.m., you're going to get to see Holly and the Nice Lions.
Nice.
But Queen of Dreams, when I asked them about their sound, she said it was like somebody took my Dungeons and Dragons game and wrote the soundtrack to it. It's not exactly how she said it, but it was like that. So in her case, like, she already understands something about their audience, which is they like fantasy stories.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you listen to their lyrics, there's stuff about dragons and like things like that in there. Okay.
Yeah.
So
cool.
Those are your two main factors. Like, you're going to want to find other people that like the same sounds that you do and how your music has those elements. And then like the kind of stories that you're telling in your creations. Okay. So number three, where do you find these people? This is like the biggest question, right? It's like, great, well, I know who they are. Like, I guess I know a little bit about what they like, but like, where do I find these people? Right?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so this is the shortcut of the episode. This is where you want to write this down. This is where you're gonna like, we're changing a mindset in this moment. So I have been asking each of the bands that I've been interviewing, although I don't do it for every band, but I've been throwing in this question in there. Who do you sound like? What does your sound like? And a lot of them say, well, I don't know. Like, we have our own sound. This statement is what is holding a lot of bands back. You're going the difficult route up the mountain when, like, you could take the stairs. Just by changing the way that you think about your music and what you've created. You ready for the shortcut, Mike?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So when you play your music for other people and they say, oh, well, I really think you sound like fill in the blank. Here is your cheat code. You're going to go take that information and you're going to do some R&D. Do you know what R&D stands for, Mike?
No, we need to relate on this.
Okay, R&D stands for rob and duplicate. Now, I don't mean that you're going to go steal their riffs. I don't mean that you're going to go steal their like pictures and content and like put that on your own page. Like, we're not talking about that kind of stealing and robbing and duplicating, right? Okay, that's not what we're doing. We're doing research because this band has gone before you. If this band is popular enough where people are like, oh yeah, like this is a band that I already like, they've got a ton of followers, they have all of the things you want. They're touring, they're on their 10th album, like, all of these things, right? Especially almost the bigger the better.
Yeah.
You're going to go to their social media page and you're going to see how they describe themselves. What genre do they put themselves in? A lot of Wikipedia pages are good for this. Like they'll say like, oh, this band belongs into this genre. And then you can go and do research on the genre. You can go back and find out where that genre started, where it came from, who were the original bands of that genre that started it. And now you can do the same thing for all of those bands. Go look at how they describe themselves. What words are they using? You want to use the same words that they're using if your music also has those elements. Because those are the words that people understand, they relate to. When they do a search for those words, you want your music to pop up too in that group. Because what happens is you've got those people, going back to number 2, who enjoy certain sounds, certain elements of music. So when they're going to look for music that they're going to add to their playlist, they're looking for those particular sounds. So if on Spotify, your music is connected with certain bands in a certain specific genre, Spotify is going to recommend you, isn't it?
Absolutely.
It's going to say, other people are listening that listen to this band also are enjoying, and then your band's going to pop up there. Mm-hmm. You can also position yourself. So once you understand, so if all of these fans of a particular band that apparently you sound like, you want to get in front of those people. They're already on a page. So does that band have like a group that you can join so that you can start getting in front of these people? You can go to their individual profiles and you can see what kind of interests they have. Maybe you find out that every single one of your fans drives a Harley Davidson. Well, then it might make sense that you try and figure out how you can get yourself at a Harley Davidson event.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So how do you strategically then place yourself in front of where you know your fans are going to be hanging out because of their interests?
That's tough.
And you don't have to figure any of this out on your own. Just listen for that one cue. When someone says, you sound like this band, and that's where you're going to start your R&D. Do the research, look at their Facebook page. What kind of posts are they posting that fans are engaging with?
Yeah.
Where does the band hang out online? What groups are they in? Are they in any groups? Like what are they doing? Figure out their process and copy that. Their process has brought them success. And if you can duplicate it, there's a good chance that it'll bring you success too.
Yeah.
As long as you don't let that mind talk get in your way.
Yeah.
Which is what we do at Austin Entertainment Management, right, Mike?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because we both know I've been in this exact boat before, And for those of you that don't know, when I first came to Heidi, I was sitting here like, I don't know what genre I am. I don't know what my audience really is. And she helped me realize that to do this exact method where I went to an open mic night and I had someone tell me my original song sounded like, hey, that was that an All American Reject song? And it gave me that light bulb instantly, like, oh, okay, like this is what I sound like. This must be the impression that I give off with my music. So then I was finally able to label myself and start moving towards where areas where people were listening to that kind of music. So super helpful. Highly recommend doing it that way, and just trying to figure out the different elements of your music that sound like other bands, and just associate.
Yes. And you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Even what I'm telling you today has been taught to me numerous times. There were two different music marketing courses that I took, and this was their recommendation. I'm a certified business coach, and this is the steps that we take new entrepreneurs through too, to say, like, why are you doing your business? And in our case, we're talking about making music specifically, but we talk about the why. Number one, make sure what you're doing first satisfies whatever passion, whatever it is that lights you up inside, because that's what's going to get you up to do something.
Yes.
So if you don't have that number one, it's going to really hurt how long you can sustain and keep going. Then the number two is identifying who else that is going to help. So in our case, with music, it's who's relating to the music and getting a similar effect, of a similar emotional effect, a similar connection effect. When we're talking about business, it's, who is this service that I've created? Who is that going to help? And identifying and being very specific about that. And finally, where do you find these people? And this question is answered by research. And then once you do the research, figure out the system that worked for that person. And if you think that you can do the same thing, duplicate it and start testing it. And all of this that we're talking about today is going to help you when you join us for the Monday meeting, when Sarah Pace from Wanderlust Elevated is going to be talking more about who these people are, identifying specific traits of those people to make it easier for you to get in front of them with your music. I'm excited. Are you excited, Mike?
Yeah, I'm always excited for these things. You learn so much. It's so helpful.
Awesome. Awesome. So let's see here. Wow, that was a lot of stuff. I got through a lot in like 15 minutes. I feel like.
You did. It was like boom, boom, boom.
Well, you said that this information, you've taken some of this information and done some of the research. So what genre did you settle on, and what have you done now with more of that information?
So I realized that my genre is more pop punk, and and don't get me wrong, like I do have songs like outside of that genre, but I know like the base of me, the foundation of me is like rooted in like that pop punk aspect. And that's I feel like that's good for me because like it's not pop punk is basically just a combination of two genres, so it gives me that flexibility because my main I feel like my main audience would be people who enjoy like pop rock, like love songs, but then also people who are fans of like A Day to Remember that like that kind of like confident music, like stand up for yourself type music, and that have that like dark and light and not really much in between type vibe. So it helped me to kind of put myself into like more pop punk groups, especially when it comes to Empress, because I know that's more pop punk vibe with the theme of like love and fast tempo and stuff like that. But with my next song, that's going to be a little bit heavier. I know that I can go more towards that area where A Day to Remember's fans are, which is more like what they call like pop mosh or easy core, which is like just another like spin off of like a heavy pop punk. So it gives me a lot of direction and exactly what I'm going for because those are my influences right there. So I know if I'm writing based off of those influences, then the demographic I'm going after will appreciate exactly what I am doing. So better chance of getting noticed and appreciated in that aspect.
And it's going to save you a lot of money in the future when you're starting to put out like Facebook ads and things like that for shows that you have coming up. Now you can target a very specific audience instead of making it a very broad audience. You'd be spending a whole lot more to be reaching all of those people when really you just need to grab a handful of people that the percentage rate of who would be interested in going is really high. So instead of like sending out like 10,000 impressions or 10,000 people see your ad, maybe only 2,000 people see it, but like 7 out of 10 are interested as opposed to like 2 out of, so you're going to have a much higher interest rate when you target things better. And the other cool thing is, as you're more familiar with bands that are in your genre, these are the people that you want to be networking with. These are the people that you could plan a tour with. These are the people that you can share fans with and recommend, oh, hey, you guys, like, I just met this other band. They're great. Like, you can recommend each other and be good referral partners for each other as well.
Yeah.
This also makes things a lot easier. You don't have to do things all by yourself. Tap into the network, tap into other people, tap into what makes music fun. Collaboration, working with other people, sharing the experience with other people. So that being said, I hope that you join us on Monday at 7:30. And I hope you also get a chance to see our video on Friday with Holly and the Nice Lions. They're a great group of people. I can't wait for you to meet them. And that's it for this week. Any closing words, Mike?
Not much besides just if you have music in your heart, let it out. Do not limit yourself. Bet on yourself. Win every time, right?
That's right. Way to use one of my taglines. Bet on yourself and win every time. I think that's a great way to close out the show. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you next week.